guys, so welcome back to Lex Reads. So in today's video, this is going to be out of my comfort zone. As you see in the title, I am going to recommend, or I'm going to recommend some books for Halloween, I would say. Now, I'm kind of contradicting myself because I think out of this whole list, I've only read 2 books, and I don't even know, well, 4. And I think 2 of them would be considered like Halloweenish type, scary books. The other 2, I'll let you be the judge of that. Of course, you guys know I'm obsessed with researching, and I always like to see, especially when it comes to authors, like what would they classify, a book. Well, I looked up a lot of stuff. I looked up Black Halloween books. I looked up Black horror novels. What else? Black scary books. I mean, I just went through all the lists, right? Reason why I say this is out of my comfort zone, I don't read horror. I don't read anything scary. I don't watch nothing scary. I am such a scaredy cat. I can't even watch Chucky. Like, I can't watch that, okay? And then growing up, I grew up in the church, so my aunts and grandmother, it wasn't Halloween. It was Hallelujah night. I did go trick-or-treating, so I didn't miss that experience, but I grew up knowing that Halloween was Satan's night, okay? Let's just get started because I'm talking too much. Okay, so I noticed by doing my research, when it came to like Black horror novels or, in the realm of like scary Halloween type novels, that genre, they mention for Black novelists, they mention Tana Reeve Dew, mention Octavia Butler, and they mention Nola Hopkins. I know we just talked about Nola Hopkins in my science fiction video that I did a couple of days ago. Next is a book I actually don't have. It's called The Conductors. It's a 2-book series. It is the Murder and Magic series by Nicole Glover. The second book is called The Undertakers. That drop is the Underground Railroad, and you have people that have been, I believe, murdered. And I guess the, white people in town, or I guess the white people in town or in the state, they don't want to like touch or even go into like the murder mysteries of, Blacks getting killed. So you have, I think, a husband and a wife. They become like detectives basically, but I know there's some magical aspects in them. That might be up my alley because you guys know I really do like slave narratives. So I think I could take that, and it doesn't seem like scary. It's like a murder mystery. I can take that, I think. So next, I'm actually going to talk about a middle grade book, and it's called Ophia's Ghost by Justine Ireland. Now, this is set. Reason why I got this because first of all, it's set in the 1920s. You already know what I'm gonna say. Harlem Renaissance, okay. But this is about a girl. They lived in the south of Georgia and they moved to Pittsburgh, I believe. And the house that they moved into, it's haunted and there are ghosts. Now I know I could take this because again, it's a children's book. I was watching an interview of the author. She said this is a book for the ages of 8 and up. Okay, so I could take this. All right. And I love the cover. Isn't it so pretty? Look at this little girl. So yes. Next is a YA. This book actually was on the list that I researched. It is Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. I think the reason why this was on the list is because it has to deal with somebody being murdered. So clearly they equate that with like, Halloween scary. So yeah. Now I know I haven't read this clearly. I'm scared because when kids and babies get murdered and then you got a teenager that has been suspected of it, I'm like, oh my goodness. And, I can take, this sounds horrible, okay? And also it's like, this doesn't make any sense, but I can kind of take the women being like battered or beaten, but when they get killed or a baby get killed, it's like, oh my heart. But I know I'm gonna have to suck up and just read this. I've never read any Tiffany D. Jackson books, but I know she's really popular when it comes to, YA genres. So yeah. Next is The Conductors Man Dies by Rudolph Fisher. This was a Harlem mystery. This was actually published in 1934. This was considered the first detective novel written by a African American. Next is a book I think everybody knows, and it is My Sister the Serial Killer. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name, okay? I know she's Nigerian. I remember when this came out, everybody named Mama was talking about this book, and I bought this, oh Lord, like some years ago. Still haven't read it. I have high hopes for this book because the mere fact it is a Nigerian author, and you guys know I always say how much I love, you know, African literature. They're amazing storytellers. So I do want to know, you know, the backstory. Clearly you got a sister that's killing people, and then the other sister, she like covers up and cleans, you know, I guess the evidence and things like that. So yeah, I just know a tiny bit about it because I kind of want to be, you know, surprised. And this book is actually not long at all. This book is only 223 pages. This is a book I can read in a day. Next is another book that everyone knows, and it's turned into a series, which is The Other Black Girl. Now, no shade. I watched the series and really did enjoy it. I watched the series last month and I really did enjoy it. I had no idea that it had some kind of horror some kind of scary aspects, like a Jordan Peele type of thing, you know. That's what they were comparing it to. I've never seen any Jordan Peele stuff. No Get Out. I don't plan to see none of that. I'm a scaredy cat, okay? But, you know, they were kind of comparing it to that. And I was really surprised when I was watching the miniseries. I was like, oh, I just thought it was a black girl that was in publishing. Another black girl came in and was trying to take her shine. Girl, now. It was deep. So, yeah. Next is, I actually am really excited to read these, and I think I'm going to read this next. Is Dead Girls, a Harlem Renaissance mystery. I actually just got this one today. This is the second one, but this is the first one. It's by Nakisha Afi. This came out, I know, in 2021, and this came out in 2022. The next one is called Harlem Sunset. You have the main protagonist. It's set in 1926 in Harlem. The main protagonist, Louise Lloyd, she was kidnapped, but she got away. And I believe she lives in like a boarding house with, I think, prostitutes. And she goes, the prostitutes, they work in like this speakeasy. And in order for, and I know she's kind of gotten in trouble in the past, and in order for her not to go, you know, to jail or whatever, she has to, I think, basically work with some of the white detectives to find out why like other black girls have been murdered. And I also know the main protagonist is a lesbian, and I think she keeps it on the down low because clearly that's like taboo. So there is a lot of layers to this book, and I really want to get into it. First of all, these covers are amazing. And so when I saw that there was a second book, I actually just got this one today. And yeah, I know this one is this one is longer than the first one. It's like 300 and some pages. This is like 200 and something. And I know she's coming out with the third book in December. Okay, the next two I actually did read. So the first one is Beloved by Toni Morrison. This was on the list. Personally, did not like this book at all. I actually listened to it. Honestly, found it difficult to read. I find a lot of books by Toni Morrison difficult to read. I've read all of her fictional books, but this one just was not my favorite. I mean, it's Toni Morrison, so yeah. And then next is She Will Be King by Whereto Moore. Whereto is a Liberian author. And the reason why I put this in this category is it has a little bit of magical realism. You have three characters. The first character, Bessa, she is immortal. A snake like bites her and she can't die. She also was born on a day that was like really bad. There's folk tales in the Liberian culture. One is don't hum a cat, so where if you like are mean to a cat, they'll come back and kill you. And that happened. A cat killed a woman the day that she was born. And then the next character is I believe Norman Aragon, and he can vanish like his mom, and I think also his dad was think his dad was a white man and he was abusive to his mom or something like that, but he can vanish. And then the last character is June Day, I believe. And June Day, it's during his time is during slavery time. His body is like, he can't feel bullets, he can't feel whips. So when they like whip him, he doesn't feel any of the lashes, nor does it like penetrate in the skin. And when I tell you, it was really, really good. And I do want to mention, they're not by Black authors, but they'll be totally categorized for Halloween and horror. First is The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. I grew up listening to the music of Phantom of the Opera. It is one of my favorites. I also saw this live and it was fantastic. Okay, I'm not big on like musicals, but this is probably the only musical that I absolutely love. Okay, and that music is fantastic. But oh Lord, this was, first of all, Phantom was killing everybody, girl. And the way that they describe him, he like looks like a skull, but only thing you see is like a skull, a hat, and that's it. And he's like, you don't see a body or anything like that. And when I tell you, he got so many people together. I prefer the movie. I like both of them. I was gonna say, do I prefer the movie? I like both of them. I like the book and the movie. And then, like I said, that music is just unbelievable, unbelievable. So yeah. And then lastly is the complete tales and poems of Edgar Allan Poe. The reason why I got this, because I wanted to read The Fall of the House of Usher. And, oh Lord, it was, whew. It's scary. It really is. I had to read it during the day. But I like it because there's a cleverness to it. And the reader knows what's going on, and I love that. I love when you have books where the reader knows, you know, all the tea, and obviously the characters don't. And surprisingly, I really do like his poetry. Annabelle Lee, I mean, first of all, how do you write like that? It's like, every time I read that poem, it's like a puzzle. I mean, talent at its best, okay? Also, I did like the movie with, I believe, is it Vincent Price? I mean, it's back in the day, so it's not like scary. And of course, like, you know, the quality of it, you know, stuff don't be looking, it look real suspect. But I mean, I'm a fan of Vincent Price. That voice is just unbelievable. I really like him a lot. But yeah, I like the movie too. And I actually could watch that. I wasn't like, oh my goodness. Now I gotta watch it during the daytime. I can't watch it at night. But I could take that. So yeah, that is it when it comes to my Halloween, I guess, recommendations or horror. Well, not horror. Scary books. Again, this is not my ministry because I don't do evil stuff. I did want to highlight some books by Black authors. So yeah, guys, that's all I have for you. And I'll be back with more Black books. Bye.